to the stages of writing. In this episode, I'm going to go over stage 3 for plotting and outlining. Plotting and outlining. Plotting and outlining are often used interchangeably, as both are meant for the preparation of a story before writing the first draft of short stories, novels, or other books. However, plotting is primarily building your story structure, organizing story elements, or setting up your plot or storyline. Outlining is primarily the essential information listed of your characters, settings, and story worlds. These sources of information could include the following: character profiles, setting descriptions, visual aids, backstories, archetypes, or story threads of your plot, and especially for larger projects like a book series. How to plot a good story. Plotting a good story takes strategy, critical thinking, and a vivid imagination, but overall, all stories include a beginning, a middle, and an ending. Whether you're a plotter, planster, or a discovery writer, in order to plot and write good stories, writers need to ensure their stories are complete and that the three main parts of their stories, beginning, middle, and ending, blend together into cohesive plots with no plot holes in them. If stories aren't complete or make sense, avid readers will notice this, which could leave them dissatisfied or not finish your books. Story structure. Every good book has some kind of story structure. Although they might not be the same, the plots of good books were created and built in an organized fashion, if not but through the author's analysis, intuition, and observation, and not an actual written plan. Story structure is vital and ensures that writers have included all the necessary plot points, stages, twists and turns, and scenes within their stories to complete their books. Writing a story without structure can be like trying to build a house without a foundation. Without solid structure, your story may come crumbling down or be left in the ruins. Ways to plot stories. There are different ways and methods that writers can plot their stories. Some writers use the snowflake method, some use the save the cat method, and others use 3-act structure, just as playwright or screenwriters or playwrights. Whichever way you choose is really up to you as the writer. Many beginner writers research plotting methods and experiment to see what works for them. I did the same thing until I chose my own personal way of plotting that works for me. Note, there is no one way to plot stories. What matters is that whatever way you choose, you have a complete beginning, middle, and ending, and an organized and structured story. Outlining for your story. Being a writer, you are the creator of your story world. Creating story worlds is a big and adventurous undertaking, and especially for an entire book or a short fiction series. At the same time, it's a gateway to using your creativity and imagination. Outlining for your story takes a lot of time and patience, but will make it easier to write about your characters and settings for your story world. All of your story information you can keep in Word documents, writing software like Scrivener, or other note-taking organizers. This information will be your personal story Bible references while writing the first draft of your short stories, novels, plays, or books. So, what are story Bibles? Story Bibles are writing references and collections of information based on the characters, settings, and story world of a novel or book series. This information could be in physical binders or in a digital program on one's computer and range from a number of different things, such as cast lists, character profiles and backstories, main settings and sublocations, belief systems, culture, or significant items mentioned in the story. Right, that's it for this part of the episode. Now I'm going to transition over to my Notion to just show some examples of different ways that you can outline for your story. So this here is my story Bible that I've been putting together for my highly appraised trilogy series. I showed this before in a demonstration of a tutorial of how to use Notion. Since then, I have added a lot of different things in here. You can see at the bottom is where I have all of the different categories. I have a section here for characters, and I added in a cast list. And I have a section here for the 3 books of the trilogy. Then I have here for the main setting for St. Vincent, which is the fictional neighborhood that the series takes place in, which is imagined in Manhattan. And I just have the sub-locations here for the locales, and the story threads, which are different events and things that connect all of the 3 books together within the trilogy. And then I just have here a section for visual aids and items, different significant things within the story. And I have a section here for songs and hymns, different songs that are sung within the story by the choir at the church and in the story. And then I have a section for Bible verses, and a section for a timeline and storyboard that I started putting together. And then the related works here. This here is my serial fiction series, which is based on my character Isaiah's childhood growing up from the 1950s to his young adult years in the late 70s. So that's what these related works here are. And it's supposed to be 2 seasons for this serialized fiction series. I'm not going to show any of that as of yet, but I will show some examples of how you can create a character profile. I'm just going to go underneath the Johnsons here, which is where Isaiah and his wife and daughter's profiles are located. So this here is the character profiles for the Johnsons, Isaiah, his wife, and his 3 daughters. I'm just going to click on Isaiah's here just to show how one could set up a character profile. I color code all the characters. Isaiah's I just color code yellow. I have his full name here, and then underneath that I just have a tag that says roles here, based on what role that this particular character plays within the family, and of course he's the father, so I just have father here. And then I have a section for age, his age span, which I just labeled here. And then I have a section for birth year, and his is 1949. And then I just have a section here of his photo, which I can just click on and be able to enlarge his picture here. Then underneath that I just have occupation, which I just put pastor and elementary school teacher for him. And then I just have another photo of him, a smaller image, and underneath that is the actual profile. The first section is for basic information, his name, birth date, parents, all those types of things. The next section under that is physical attributes. Then I have a section for his personality. Then I have a section for emotional traits, which I think is a good one to add that not all writers include within their profiles. Then I have occupation, education, his daily life, and additional information as well. His phobia is actually dogs, because he was bitten by a dog when he was a little boy. So that's his phobia. Then after the actual profile, I have his character arc here. I'm just going to click on that. And this is Isaiah's character arc that I started to set up. Based on the transitional character arc, the diagram that I made up, I just pulled that in here, and on this side I just have everything listed for his positive character arc. I'm just going to click on one of these. As you can see here, I started writing a summary, and underneath that I have a section to list all of the losses. And all of this information is based on those index cards that I wrote, that I have shown within the blog post based on this diagram of my 5 phases. You can read the blog post on my brainstorm blog for the 5 phases for a transitional character arc if you're interested in that. I'm just going to click out of this. Now I'm just going to show an example of what you can do for your settings. So here I just have a section for the sublocations or locales within the story. This one here is Isaiah or the Johnson family's home. I just have a tag here based on what type of place that it is. Then I have a section here for address, which I just put in here. And then I have an image where I can enlarge the image, just like I did with the image of Isaiah. Then I can see the setting in a larger photo. Underneath that, I just have the image of the location again. And then I have a section for exterior description, and then a section for interior description. But that's pretty much what you could do to set up for one of your settings. Now I'm just going to show how you can summarize for the actual plot of your story. So this is the book 1 page for Precious Lord Take My Hand of my Highly Appraised series. I just have the title and a little teaser about what this particular book is about. A lost love and long-time marriage, a daughter trapped in domestic abuse, a sacred church destroyed. And then I just have some images based on each of these parts of the story. Here is just Cordelia lying in the hospital, in her hospital bed when she passed away in her sleep. This is Denise, the youngest daughter, just standing outside of the apartment of her fiance, and this image is just the church after it was vandalized by the Grim Reapers gang. Underneath that, I have book contents. Each one of the books within this trilogy is split into 2 parts, and I just label that underneath here for book 1, what the parts are. Take My Mother Home, part 1, and Stand By Me, part 2. And then I just have the main plot. All of the main plots for each one of the books is from Isaiah's point of view, but the subplots are from one of the daughters' point of view. And I just have the summary for the main plot, which I have put underneath here, and some images. Isaiah up late drinking a cup of coffee at night. This is a image of a photograph of Isaiah's mother Martha, who unfortunately died when she was 40 on short notice from a heart attack. And this is Isaiah's grandmother, who he's kind of haunted by due to a family curse, as he believes that he is reaping his past mistakes and former lifestyle through his 3 daughters in the story. So that's something that he deals with in the trilogy series. Underneath that, I just have some images representing Marcus Gooding, who's one of the members of the Grim Reaper's gang, that Isaiah and another character named Claire Marie of the Savage family ends up helping to escape the gang. He actually vandalized the church parking lot, so that's what this scene here is, him putting the gang tag on their wall. But as you can see, I have some of the words inside of the summary bolded, and I just put links on them so that I can link to different character profiles or just different items of visual aids. For example, this goodbye letter here is the letter that Cordelia, or Lucy as Isaiah calls her, wrote before she died. So that's what this here is, which is a letter of her requesting in her dying wish that he reconciles with all of their 3 daughters, pretty much. But that's that. I'm just going to go back. But that's pretty much it for this demonstration of outlining for your story. I hope it was helpful, and until next time, happy writing.